with the healthcare debate being what it has this year, specific legislation or specific issues like this oftentimes are the drivers of lobbying. When you see spikes in lobbying expenditures, usually they're tied to something relatively specific. Of course, the gun lobby is always going to lobby for or against gun legislation. Trial lawyers are, going to lobby against tort reform, or, environmental groups are going to, go ahead and lobby for environmental issues. These are all things that are pretty standard. But when you get a piece of legislation like healthcare, what we've seen is just an influx of different entities, different interest groups, different special interest groups coming in and try to influence the process. And the question, of course, is, well, why? What's at stake here? Well, something is at stake here that is important to almost every American in the country. If you have health insurance, you want to make sure that you're keeping it, or that it's going to be less expensive probably than it is today. If you don't have health insurance, obviously you want it. And if you're a company or a special interest group, your interests may be very different. If you're a drug company, you're going to be concerned about there being generic drugs cutting into your bottom line. If legislation is written in a way that would basically allow them to get on the market sooner. If you're a doctor, you are probably going to be pretty concerned about regulations about tort reform and medical malpractice insurance, and the ability for somebody to sue you for malpractice, which a lot of doctors consider to be a very difficult part about their job. And of course, if you're the pharmaceutical industry, like I said about generics, you're dealing with billions and billions and billions of dollars at stake here, and so really, it comes as no surprise that they are lobbying the federal government to try to influence this legislation in ways that we've never really ever seen them do so before.